Guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. For today's video, I wanted to do a one brand tutorial because it's been a hot minute since we've done a one brand tutorial, and today I'm going to be using Sugar Cosmetics. Now Sugar Cosmetics is Indian owned and a lot of these products are also made in India. Some of them are not made in India, but a lot are made in India. Now this is not hashtag sponsored, hashtag gifted, hashtag ad, hashtag PR, hashtag anything, because I did buy all of these products and I did try them before making this video. So this is not a full face of first impressions. I would be talking you through my experience with all of the products. Like any other brand, Sugar has their hits and misses. So I'm going to be talking you through what I felt about each product and what I feel the product is meant for, the skin type, and the use that the product is going to serve you. So yes, without any further ado, if you want to know how I got this look, or if you want to see my mini reviews on some Sugar products, then please keep on watching. Alrighty, let's get into this makeup tutorial. The first thing I'm going to do is prime up my face, and for that I'm going to use the Aquaholic Hydrating Stick. Now this is on the lines of Milk Makeup, so this is what it looks like. This does feel quite refreshing and hydrating on the skin, and it also has a nice tacky feel to it. However, if you are someone who suffers from acne or has other skin issues, I would suggest you stay away from this because this does come in direct contact with your skin, or you must sanitize it after every use. So I'm just going to go all over my face first, and then I'm going to use my fingers to make sure that it's nicely spread out. This does get absorbed into the skin pretty quickly and it doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all. You can wear this without makeup as well. I don't know what the exact skincare benefits are of this, but it does feel really nice and fresh on the skin. Next up for foundation, I'm going to use Ace of Face. I really wanted to try drop this serum foundation as well, but the foundations have been out of stock and this was the only shade that I could grab off Amazon. This is the shade 25 Macchiato or Macchiato, however that is pronounced. I'm not Italian and I do not mind the way Italians pronounce my name or the dishes of our country. So it's okay if we mispronounce things. It's not our first language and it's completely okay. So anyway, this is a stick foundation. It's quite creamy, so that's something I like, but this does look a little bit oily after a while of wearing, so that's something that was a little even though I am from the dry skin type, this can feel a little oily on the skin. This does come with a brush on the other side. As you can see, I have used it and it is quite tiny, so it's great to reach like really small crooks and crannies of your face, like the corners of the eyes or the corners of the nose. But when it comes to blending the whole face, this can be a little bit too small and it can take a little bit of too time. The foundation does blend really nicely. It's not streaky or patchy. That is something I like. The coverage is medium buildable. You can definitely layer this up, but it can look a little bit cakey, so I wouldn't really recommend layering it up. But if you really want to go for that full coverage life, you can layer it up. This is what my face looks like after blending the foundation out. I do have to say, from the swatches that I saw online, all of the shades seem a little too yellow. I get it that when you think of India as a country, you think of warm skin tones, but there are people who are not so warm or are more neutral. Even though I am yellow, this is a little too yellow for my skin. I feel like they could add a little bit of more neutrals and pinky undertones to their foundation range, but that's just my opinion. Next up, let's move on to concealer, and I'm going to use their Magic Wand waterproof concealer. I'm in the shade 07 Vanilla Latte. I deliberately did order a lighter shade because I wasn't sure of how deep the foundation is going to be, and because it's slightly a tad bit too warm for me, this concealer really helps in sort of matching it out or evening it out, as I would say. I really do like this concealer. I feel like it's a very nice concealer, long lasting, looks beautiful under the eyes, doesn't look cakey or patchy or heavy under the eyes. Of course, it also depends on how much you use. I use very little amount, as you can see, and it goes a long way. Like a little bit goes a long way. You don't need a lot with this concealer anyway, and as you can see in real time, it blends out beautifully. So yes, highly recommend this concealer if you are on the lookout of a new concealer that would be long lasting, would cover up a lot of issues for you. Then definitely check out this concealer. Now that our foundation and concealer are laid down on our face, it's time to set it into place. And for that, I'm going to be using Sugar SPF 15 Dream Cover Compact Powder. This is in the shade Cappuccino, and this is what it looks like from the inside. It does come with its own sponge, but I don't use that because I'm the biggest fan of sponges. So I'm going to use my brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that powder. Now, I do feel that this is not the most mattifying powder, and that's like a very big thing coming from me because I am from the dry skin family. So it's not supremely mattifying because I did mattify my whole face with this the last time I tried out Sugar product, which wasn't on camera, but I was just trying out the products and my foundation kept on becoming very oily, so I had to go over with this powder again and again just to mattify my face down. But if you're looking for a compact powder that's not overly drying, that you just need to dust all over your face just to get a nice coverage, then this might be a good option. But if you're from the oily skin type, I wouldn't really recommend this to you because it's not supremely mattifying, so it won't control or absorb your oils as much as you would like it to absorb. Next up, it's time to bring the features back onto our face that it doesn't look as flat. I'm going to use Contour Force palette. It comes with a contour, a highlight and a blush shade, as you can see right here. And this one is in the shade Subtle Summit. It's a beautiful palette. I actually really like the fact the contour is cool toned and not a warm bronzer, so you can really contour your face. The powders are very softly milled and they do have nice amount of pigmentation, the amount of pigmentation that would work for your skin. So I'm just picking up the contour shade first and I'm going to start contouring my cheekbones. So I'm just applying it on the hollows of my cheekbones. I'm going to push it back into my hairline. As you can see, the powders are really easy to blend and you can build up the pigmentation. So you can layer it up. You don't have to go ahead with a lot at once. Also going to contour my jawline just to cut my double chin down. And then I'm going to apply a little bit to my forehead. I don't really need to do this because I do have a small forehead, but I like to do this because it just makes the overall face look a little bit more cohesive and not like stripes and patches of contour all over your face. And then I'm also going to apply a little bit on my nose. I'm not the hugest fan of nose contour, or maybe I've just not mastered it yet, but I just like to go a little bit on the sides of my nose for it to look a little bit more chiseled and sharp because I have a pakoda nose basically. Next, we're going to highlight our face because I like to mesh my blush in between my highlighter and my contour. So we're just going to be picking up the highlight shade, which is a beautiful candlelit shade. It almost reminds me of Mary Luminizer. And I'm just going to apply it on the tops of my cheekbones. I am going with a very light hand because I am currently into a little bit more subtle highlight than like a blingy out of the space highlight. So I just like to build it up to whatever intensity that I like it to be. And I'm going to round it on my cheek. So I'm just going to round it right here. And I'm going to take it back into my brow bone. I'm going to apply it on the tip of the nose and the bridge of the nose, on my cupid's bow. And with whatever's remaining on the brush, I'm not picking anything extra. I'm just going to dust it all over my forehead. And now it's time for the blush. So we're going to pick up this beautiful shade, which is like a very beautiful dusty rose shade. And I'm just going to apply it on my cheeks. Overall, I feel like this palette is a very nice, worth it palette because you get beautiful shades, nice pigmentation, you get to work around and play around with these shades, and it's a very compact palette too at it. It's not bulky or heavy, it's very compact. So I would highly recommend picking up this palette. They do have a couple of shades. I would like to see like a larger shade variety in this because I'm sure that these shades won't complement all skin tones, so I would like to see more shade range from them. But other than that, I like the formulation and everything on these. It's time to take a quick little shower in a setting spray, and we have the Grand Finale setting spray with us right here. Now this is a very quick absorbing setting spray. Like this is the quickest absorbing setting spray I've seen. Like I didn't even have to fan it down because it was just like zoop absorbed into my skin. And it does have like a metal ball inside, so I'm not really sure what's the use of that. But I'm just going to spritz this all over my face. You saw how quickly that got absorbed. I didn't even properly fan it down. That's what I was telling you guys about. It gets absorbed into the skin so quickly. However, it does have a really high amount of perfume that can be very irritating to your nostrils. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for something that would mesh your makeup in beautifully, then you can definitely check this out. I haven't seen much improvement with the longevity of my makeup, so I can't really say that it would make your makeup last supremely long. But as they say, it's a Grand Finale setting spray. It's just supposed to, mesh your makeup and make it look much more seamless and pretty. And that's what it does. It also adds a nice dewiness to your skin. So if you are from the dry skin type, you are going to really like it. But if you're oily, it might make you look a little bit more oily than you would prefer. We are up close and personal because it's now time to start off with the eyes. I have Sugar's Arch Arrival with me. This is in the shade Taupe Tom, and this is their brow definer. So I'm going to start off with the spoolie side, and I'm going to spoolie out my brows. The spoolie is a little bit more chunky than what I prefer it to be, and it's not tapered on the top. I prefer like a taper top. This is more chunky and more bulky, but it works. It does the job. When it comes to the pencil, it is an angular pencil, like a Benefit Goof Proof sort of a pencil. So this is what it looks like. It does work really nicely. It's affordable and it does the job. I love how it's not creamy and it does not make your eyebrows look very sharpied on. It does define the brows nicely. If you are on the lookout for like an affordable eyebrow pencil, this would do the job pretty nicely. I do like to just blend out everything with my spoolie once in a while here and there, so that there are no chunks or no clumps that are forming in my brows. So I'm just going to be defining my other brow. You saw that was done pretty quickly. It didn't take a lot of time. I like this shape. I like this shape of pencil, and I have talked about this shape quite a few times. I think even Wet n Wild has a very similar shape that works pretty well. So if you're looking for even a more affordable option than the Sugar one, you can check out the one from Wet n Wild too. Time for some eyeshadows, and I have two palettes from Sugar. I have 01 Flawless and 02 Warrior, and both of these have color stories that are pretty wearable. I'm going to show you 01 first. So this is what 01 looks like. It has peaches and oranges and cranberry shades right there, and Warrior looks something like this. It has those gunmetals and browns and copper shades right here, and the brush just fell down. It does come with a tiny brush and sponge 2-in-1 sort of a thing. This is what it looks like. I haven't really used it, don't really think it's of much use, so I just like to use my own brushes. Now these eyeshadows are very nicely pigmented and blendable, which is very important. Today I think I'm going to use the shade 02 Warrior just because I feel like it. This is what the palette looks like again. So yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna start off by picking up Peachy Yellow, which is a nice peach shade, with the help of a crease blender brush. I'm gonna dust off the excess and I'm gonna start working this in my crease. I've already applied the concealer on my crease, which would help me in priming my eyes up. And I'm going in circular as well as windshield wiper motions just to blend this eyeshadow into my crease as a nice transition color. I'm also going to take it out slightly in a V just to get nice definition on my eyes. Alright, then I'm going to pick up medium brown with a slightly tighter crease definer brush, and I'm making sure I cover my brush, coat it really nicely, dusting off the excess as usual. And again, I'm going to go in my crease, but this time I'm going to keep it lower than the peachy yellow shade because I want a nice transition to be happening. I want an ombre and not blocks of color. Again, gonna extend it out in a V of sorts. I'm gonna pick up black with a stiffer shader brush, and again I'm gonna put it in my crease, but I'm gonna keep this very close and tight now, and I'm gonna go all the way till my inner corners. What I'm essentially trying to do is I'm essentially trying to build a nice transition for my eyeshadow base color, and for that I need to put black in my crease to make sure that the transition is seamless because the browns are more warm, and I'm planning to put a gunmetal shade all over my eye, and I need that black to break the difference between the coolness of the gunmetal and the warmth of the browns. So I'm going to layer the black a little bit more just to get the nice intensity going there in my crease. With the help of a very stiff brush, I'm going to pick up Gunmetal Silver, which is a beautiful color. It's so gorgeous, and it has a beautiful reflex to it too. And I am just going to be placing this all over my eyelid. So I'm just pressing this color in. You want to press the color in. You don't want to swipe it too much because then it won't have the maximum intensity that it can give off. So I'm just pressing this color in, and I want to ensure that I blend it into the black that I've laid down in my crease. I'm going to mix the dark brown and the black just to apply on my lower lash line, and I'm going to keep it very close. I don't want it to be too smoky or too smudged below. I'm going to keep it pretty close. I'm going to connect it to my upper lash line just to make my eye look nicely tied up. To highlight my eyes, I'm going to move on to the Flawless palette because the Warrior palette does not have a lot of highlighty shades. In this one, we have Champagne Gold right here, which is a very beautiful highlight shade. It's neither too warm nor too cold, which is perfect for this look. So I'm just going to pick it up with a nice pencil brush and I'm going to pop it in my inner corners just to highlight my eyes up, and I'm going to blend it onto my lid. And then I'm also going to apply it right under the highest point of my brow. Then I have Stroke of Genius Heavy Duty Kohl, and this is a very long lasting kajal. I did wear it on my waterline, which is something that I do very rarely these days, but it did stay put throughout the day. It smudged very slightly, which is completely okay. It's not a big deal. You can always retouch a little bit of smudging here and there. But what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to apply it on my lash line just a little bit, and I'm going to smudge it out because I don't want to go for a very sharp liner look. Fun fact, the first product that I used from Sugar was their liquid liner that I got in my fab bag, I think about 6-7 years ago. Now that I have my soft smoky definition with the liner going on, we can move on to the mascara. I have Uptown Curl right here, and honestly, this is a very skippable mascara. It's supremely average, nothing, oh my god, wow, this is what the wand looks like. It's a curled wand, but it doesn't really do much for my lashes. I've seen, like, it's not the best mascara out there. There's so many other budget mascaras available which perform equally if not better than this mascara, but for the sake of this video we're just gonna coat our upper and bottom lashes with this. I will wear falsies because that's the life that I like to live. However, Sugar does not have falsies, not at least to my knowledge. I thought I'll show you the look without falsies and how it looks. So this is what it looks like right now. So I'm going to finish off with my lip color, which is the Suede Select Matte Lip Color. And this is in the shade Linen Lilac. I love this shade. It's so beautiful. And this is a very comfortable formula to wear. Unlike their previous liquid lipsticks, the first liquid lipstick they came out with, which was a disaster. I have a full review on it, and I think probably because of that video I'm not on their PR list, but that's not an issue at all. So I'm just going to be applying this all over my lips. It does take slightly longer to dry it down because it's a very creamy matte formula, but I would prefer this formula over the other one any day. I do love their crayon sticks also. They're very beautiful, and I think those were the first thing that really brought Sugar to the forefront of things. And yeah, I think lips have been their forte except their one mishap of a liquid lipstick. And yes, with that we finished this makeup tutorial, and I love how this look has turned out. I actually love the contrast between the gunmetal eyes and the lilac lips. It's not a combination that I tried before, but I'm definitely feeling it. To sum up this video, the products that I would highly recommend to you guys are definitely the concealer, the contouring palette, the eyeshadow palette, and the Suede Matte Liquid Lipstick. And the products I won't recommend to you guys are the mascara, the compact powder, and the foundation. While the foundation is okay, there are so many other foundations that you can get in a similar price range which are much better than this foundation. So those are the products I would recommend and would not recommend. The other products like the eyebrow pencil, the kajal, and the aquaholic stick are something that are okay, and if your budget fits, like if it fits your budget, then you can definitely pick it up. Otherwise, there are alternatives always present for these products. But yes, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, then don't forget to comment and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. Also, let me know what other one brand tutorials you guys would like to see, or what other tutorials you guys would like to see. I would love to do them for you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.